Welcome to the Prydecast, episode number 4. We're still churning, we're still putting out episodes. This should come out right before Christmas, so if you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. And if you don't, then I don't know what to say to you. Sorry, I'm not really...
Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, all the good stuff.
I'm not really PC when it comes to that kind of stuff, so I apologize ahead of time. But yeah, this week we got an awesome episode. We're calling it the Rant Cast, because we got our buddy, TheeJonBaker. The bakery is in town this week to talk about content creation, a whole bunch of other things. John is a streamer for Pryde, just so everyone knows, and a content creator with 1.8k Twitter followers, 2.8k Twitch followers, and a SteelSeries mod. No, he cannot get you a headset. So John, tell us about yourself, buddy.
Yo, thanks for having me, guys. I'm John, and I do weird stuff on the internet. I don't know what else to say. I'm kind of boring.
You are the most non-boring person I know, John. I knew this was going to happen. I know I'm half a Red Bull deep, but I'm just really fucking antsy. But I hate that you do this all the time. You undersell yourself, and you're so self-deprecating. And you're literally one of the best streamers that I have the honor of being friends with. You're one of the funniest people I know in or outside of gaming, like ever. You're one of the funniest people I know ever. And you're legitimately one of the most creative and talented streamers that I even watch, much less am friends with. So you're definitely not giving yourself enough credit.
I don't know how to talk about myself, honestly. It's just one thing I've always struggled with. My about me on Twitter, I didn't even type it. My mod did. I don't know how to talk about myself. I'm not even joking. I just had no clue how to do it.
And I meant to ask you that too. In your bio section, you say you're a content manager. Is that a real thing, or is that a meme?
It's a meme.
It's a meme. Okay.
People come to me and
sure.
they're like, "Hey, I got I need a G Fuel ad," or something along the lines of that, and then I'll just kind of think of something, and they'll run with it if it's a good idea. So it's just it's a meme, but I do help people out with their skits and stuff along the lines of that.
Very much you do.
That's funny, dude. So you just literally just you actually have a fake job that you do.
Yeah, I have a couple of people. They're like, "Yo, I need a TikTok idea for a G Fuel ad or something along the lines of that," and I'll here's 28 ideas that I came up with in 3 minutes. You pick one and run with it, and that's what they do.
Yeah, but you're actually a super creative dude. So it's a fake job, but you probably give them legitimately good ideas.
Yeah, I've had a couple good ones. I've had a couple bad ones, but I've had a couple good ones.
I mean, that's creativity as a whole, though, right? I mean, you're never gonna. Not every idea you come up with is gonna be great. There's always gonna be a few that you're laying in bed, it's 2 a.m. You're like, oh, it's gonna be good. You type it in, then you fall asleep, wake up in the morning, the fuck was this? What? This doesn't make any sense. This isn't even coherent.
All the time, all the time.
But that's ideas, man. That's ideas. You think about them, you write them down. Some of them work. I would almost argue and say 90% of them don't work, but then the other 10% are gold, are really great ideas.
Agreed.
And so with that, let's talk. I want to talk about your creativity on stream, because you by far have one of the most creative streams that I've seen, and a lot of it's really cool, interesting green screen work, you have with your background right now. And it's super good quality, and the transitions and the changes, and I like to savvy myself a pretty decent technical dude when it comes to transitions and stuff, but your shit is on another level. I still don't know. I guess I could just ask you, but I every time I watch you do your little raid dance party thing that you do, or just some of the crazy wavy transitions that create multiple copies of yourself, and you're going back and forth. I'm how in God's green earth is he fucking doing that? And what? How did you even come across these ideas? Because it's something that I have never even seen on a YouTube tutorial, and it's something that I don't see with hardly any streamers.
So a couple of my stream friends, they did it, and they do it way better than me. That's not even me just down talking to me. The way they do it, it's 10 times better. It's it looks way smoother. So they kind of taught me, and I kind of made it my own way. Because I call my stream the weirdest stream, so I make it look as weird and not as organized as possible, just to keep it going. But shout out to Gang, Concentrated Mind, and Sorry for that, because those 3 are the ones that have paved the way for me to learn how to do it. It's all nested scenes.
Well, and that's what's really cool, is that you kind of you have this you play you don't know what the fuck you're doing, but in reality you know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah. I always say I never know what's happening in my stream, but
right,
it's all wrote up that way.
Well, yeah, and you have it under control, but also, excuse me. Also, you have an innate ability to improvise. Like you're one of the funniest people I know, and I want to know, like, did you do any sort of like improv or any sort of like comedic anything, or is this just something like you've just grown up being funny and you make cracking jokes, and then it's kind of made you who you are today?
It sound weird, but like life sucks. So if I can make someone laugh, that's like all I want to do. So like I've always just kind of tried to make like funny jokes about anything just to like ease the tension, I guess. So like I've never did like any type of comedy or anything like that. I've never thought of myself as like a funny dude until I started streaming, and then it kind of all hit me at once because like people started laughing at my jokes. So it's kind of what happened.
That is bizarre because you are literally one of the funniest people I know. You must not be hanging around with the right people because you I mean genuinely you could do stand-up comedy. You were really funny. Like the ideas, your wit, and you're quick. Like you're quick. You have like the wit of somebody who did theater for 7 years. Like it's genuinely impressive. And you're talking about like how the world sucks and that people, you do it to kind of ease tension or make people happy. And that's crazy. It's kind of funny how that works because a lot of funny people, I feel like they grew up with adversity. They grew up like with issues in their life. And do you feel like that is kind of how you feel? Like you're like, oh yeah, I grew up with some adversity, and that's kind of like made me kind of this almost like funny degenerate type person that you are today.
Yeah, like I definitely grew up with a lot of adversity, like small town Kansas, single house income. So like I take nothing for granted now, and like I just try to like use comedy to like make people's better because like I struggled growing up with a lot of stuff, not being able to get anything new, not be able to get anything like that. So like I understand like just being sad, like that's just kind of how I was grown up. So like if I can make somebody laugh because of that and like help them like kind of just forget about the real world for a little bit, then that's a success for me, honestly. That's like it's the reason I stream, well, one of the reasons, but like I just want to like help people forget about the real world for however long I stream and just kind of make sure they leave with a smile on their face.
That's great, man. And it is crazy how that happens. It's always the people who go through a lot of shit that kind of like have this like lighthearted sense of like being funny, making jokes, because like life's too short not to laugh at shit. And it's really cool to me how you actually started streaming with the intent of like wanting to really like improve other people's lives.
Yeah, like because like I used to host a charity basketball tournament. So the reason I started streaming was to actually raise money for that tournament. That was the whole reason I started. So in a sense, yeah, honestly.
Really? So you didn't even start streaming because you're like, oh, this entertainment stuff's cool. You're like, I have this charity basketball tournament. I know that people will give the charities if I'm streaming. I'm funny, and that's why you started.
Yeah, because like I was struggling to find people to play in the basketball tournaments themselves. So like I was trying to find other ways to raise money for it. And so I was like, one of my friends was streaming one day and I was watching him like, shit, I think I could do this. And that's how it started. But like I never thought of myself as a funny guy, like I said. So like I wasn't expecting to like, I'm gonna go live and I'm gonna make people smile. Like this is like I never really expect anybody to hang out. You know what I'm saying?
That's ludicrous that you didn't think you were funny before this. That's so crazy. Is that not crazy to you, Stevie? That blows my fucking mind.
I think that's like my favorite part of John. Like, no joke. Like, it's gonna sound like we're rubbing you off the whole podcast. I'm just gonna flat out say right now, but that's just kind of the format that we like to push, right? But like my first experience with you, you made me feel encapsulated in your community instantly. And then your two theme songs, one of them was the rap that really caught my attention. That's like my favorite thing in the world.
Yeah.
But like all of those aspects, just like you have such a likable personality, and then you add all the humor on top of it. It's just like that's a stream that I actually want to hang out in. Like that one stream I was hanging out, we were talking about all these random things, getting to know each other, and like I find out you're a Bruins fan, and like I'm a Maple Leafs fan, so like we have all these differing adversity things, and like we still everybody just loves hanging out with you. I've not heard like one negative thing about you from anyone in Pride, and that's like very.
Yeah.
I was gonna say he's the one exception, but every time that I'm in your stream, it's just something that makes me, one, want to be a better streamer, and two, I want to incorporate all these elements in your stream into my stream. And you two are like the top of the list of those two people that I look to find ways to improve my stream entertainment wise. So
Well, and that's the cool thing too, is that you're not only like a great streamer, but you're great to have around as a streamer. Because I think one of my biggest problems in streaming, and one of the things that kind of like I've kind of had to adjust, and it's helped now being in Pride and being in a group and a community of people that are fun to play with. But one of the hardest things, and I think I talked about this, maybe a couple of podcasts ago, was the hardest thing when I started streaming back in March was finding people to play with, because I played by myself. I played Valorant and I goofed around with random teammates. But then anytime I'd pick up some people to play, I just found character flaws in them that I didn't like and that didn't help contribute to the quality or the entertainment value of my stream. And I'm like, this isn't what I want. And then as someone who likes streams, I would watch like Tim the Tapman and Courage and all these guys play together and their banter back and forth. And you're like, that's a dynamic. They've created this dynamic that is just not it's unmatched. And I was like, that's what I want. I want to create a dynamic. And you create that dynamic, John. Like I have so many people who hop into my stream and they're like, where's John? I miss you guys fighting. Like where you need to get John in so you guys can talk some shit to each other. Like there it's you add a dynamic to anybody else's stream. And if like people are like overwhelmed by that, because I know you told me a story. We don't have to name names, but you told me a story of a friend of yours who I hope this is okay. Is it okay that I say this?
Yeah.
Okay. So a friend of yours who was being recruited into a team, and you were playing with him, and you were like being just being yourself, and you're funny and you're cool, just hanging out, and they were like, oh, we want you instead.
Yeah. So like I've always been afraid to like hop on anybody else's stream just because I don't want to overpower. Because like I can have that presence, and I know that because I do make a joke about everything. So like I've always been afraid of like hopping in somebody's stream, especially when I'm not streaming and I don't have push stock on and I'm just rambling on like an idiot. So like I'm always afraid of that ever since that moment.
You shouldn't be, bro. I love it.
Mm-mm.
Anybody who gets mad or is not okay with that is insecure.
Well, like they weren't mad. It's just
No,
like
I
I
know.
felt bad.
You felt bad because you took away that guy's moment, right?
Yeah.
And it's a weird situation. And honestly, those people are the assholes for like doing that to that dude. That's not cool. Like that's not cool to do that. Or maybe like pick him up and they'd be like, oh, we want you too. Like, hey, come on over. But like that situation was not your fault. You should never feel at fault for that. And that's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you add value. You wherever you are, you add value. And that's what's really special about you as a creator, but also just like as a person. Like I know you and I, and then listen, I know we're talking about rubbing you off. I'll spit on both hands. I mean, listen, you are a fucking blast to be around, and it's really cool to just like be able to just like game with you and shoot the shit. So it's really cool. It's really cool to just like have you being ingrained in anybody's community, and it's anybody who's not, I think, is missing out on you.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I just like to have fun, man. Like I work in a window factory. Y'all know how I don't have fun for 10 hours a day. Like I come home and if I have energy, like I'm gonna put on a show. If I'm streaming or not, I'm putting on a show regardless now. Like it sucks.
Well, that's the difference though. That's the difference with you is you want to have fun. You want to have fun regardless of anything. I play with people who just like want to win, or they're like this, or if they're losing, they're not having a good time. And that's what I think a quality that you have that other people can learn from. And that any aspiring or any streamers who want to try to improve their numbers or try to get a larger audience that can learn from is to like, don't let things like that affect you. Just have fun, because I've been there. I've been a gamer who was like trying to win and only having fun when I win. But like you could be getting your ass kicked. You don't care. You're just having fun. You're just shooting the shit. And that's I think a fucking phenomenal quality.
I like in one of my bios it says above average entertainment, below average gameplay, because like I know I am bad at video games, so like that's why I have all my extra scenes. Like I want to put on a show. Like you're not coming for my gameplay. Like I had to find some way else to like get people to want to hang out, and like yeah, my personality can do it, but like sometimes personality doesn't get you. You got to have that extra stuff. So I was like, gameplay ain't it for me. I'm gonna make a fool out of myself and do a bunch of fun stuff.
Yeah, dude, you're a born entertainer. And do you think when you talked about the basketball charity games that you had, did you play in them, or did you like what part did you play? Like I'm trying to find out. So like where did this come from? Like obviously adversity and childhood trauma and things like that can add character and allow you to be funny. But there had to have been something. Was there not anything like a theater class that you took, or you were in a play, or like you used to make jokes?
I was a jock. I was a homecoming king. Like I was a basketball player. Like I didn't do anything like that.
You didn't make any jokes, like nothing, like none of your
I mean,
friends.
I'm sure I made fun of my friends, but like
Yeah,
nothing like serious. Like it was just
yeah.
shooting the shit like I do with you. Nothing crazy.
Do you think that you developed that skill set in doing so? Like, do you feel like there was any sort of shift of you kind of coming into humor and comedy, or do you think you just maybe had it, didn't realize you did until you started streaming, and then had these other people affirm?
I think
Like,
I didn't know I had it until I started streaming. I think streaming really brought it out. Like I've always been like quick with like comebacks and stuff like that, but like that was just like I don't know to show that I can do it. Like there was never
yeah.
like to be funny.
Well, because that's not something you wake up and you're like that. Like no one wakes up the next day and is super witty. Like you, that's something you had to have developed over years. Because I mean, that's something I remember. I was always like the class clown whenever I was like 13, 14. And then at the age of like probably 16, I was like, no, I need to work on this. Like I want to do something like this. And so I literally for like 5 years overanalyzed every single thing that I said. I still have like notes from years back from just like, I was like 16, just writing stupid notes. Like, what if animals could talk? It's like one of the first things I ever wrote in my notes. It was stupid. It was so stupid. But like literally overanalyzed everything I said, and until I finally became like somewhat funny. So it's so crazy that you have just this natural ability that you didn't even realize that you had. I'm sorry to harp on this. It just that's one of the craziest things that blows my mind with you.
Well, it's still crazy just because of the fact, like I said earlier, like I still don't think I'm funny, like this is just me, you know what I'm saying? Like I get you guys what you're saying, but like this is just me. Like this is just, like because I'm not trying to be funny. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. Like I don't try to be funny. I just respond to something, and it is funny. Like it's not me like some people like try to be funny or they think on it. I'm just like, I don't know. I'm gonna say this. It's either gonna work or it's not, like I have no filter. I just say what comes to my mind, and if it's funny, it's funny. Like I don't try to do anything. I think that's the crazy part. 'Cause I don't think I'm funny.
Yeah, that is crazy because you're naturally funny. Like I try to be funny. I definitely try to be funny, and I'll make a joke that like made a joke that didn't land or like whatever. But like yeah, it's yeah, I may inadvertently be accidentally funny, but like I definitely like try to be funny. It's crazy to think that you don't. That's so bizarre. Sorry, Steve. I think you're about to talk. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're okay. That's the true spectrum thing, right? It's like one side is always trying to be fun while the other side isn't trying to be funny. They just have a natural cadence to be funny. And I think that's John's case. Like John is just really unassuming guy. Like if you know John is just he's very unassuming, he's very easygoing. So like when he says something, it's like one of those things like you'll chuckle at, but then later you're like, wait a minute. But like like Nash will say something that's very deliberately funny and you're like really laughing hard, but then later you're like, hang on a minute, like I gotta think a little bit harder about what was happening. Like it's just that cadence is different, but both of you guys have that knack for just like the one-liners and just the funny things, and like your production value on stream I think is one of the biggest things that always just caught my attention with like what Nash said, all the different skits. That's what I wanted to get into. I just reminded myself. That's great. But what was the origin of the idea for the skits? And then when it morphed into basically running off of every Twitch decision that was negative to turn it into a Twitch was just a very genius on the fly idea. And I want to know more about that.
Honestly, I don't remember how it started. I don't even remember like what dumb thing that Twitch did. But it like they did something and I'm like, bro, I could make something funny out of this easily. And like I did, and I even threw in the Twitch on top, get fucked or whatever. And then like people like started like that became like a thing. Like everybody loved that. And then the next time it's like Twitch made a mistake, somebody's like, I can't wait for John to do that. And then like Twitch on top, like they put a hashtag with Twitch on top. And then like that became a trend. Like last time when Twitch banned the 3 words, like I had like 5 people tag me, like, I can't wait till John like makes a skit on it. Like it I made one and it just took off, and now I have to take him because people love him. But like, I have no idea how it started. I don't remember it at all.
Shout out to the virgins, incels, and simps, by the way. We love all of you, every single one of you.
Thank God we're not on Twitch live yet.
That doesn't even go in effect until like January, anyways. And I heard some extra info what they were talking about. It's like intent. They were talking about like each case is different. Like you can't like I can't be like I'm a virgin and then like get banned. It's more like if it's like fuck you, John, you simp virgin. Like that's a way to get banned, even though I'm telling the truth.
Story of my life.
But dude, did you watch any sort of like Saturday Night Live or like were you
No,
huge
I've
into
never
comedy
watched
when,
that at all.
really? You didn't like watch any comedians or anything?
Uh, I watched Gabriel Iglesias one time.
One time. Gabriel Iglesias is great.
Like, I don't know. Like, I don't really watch a lot of like anything. Like, so like, no, I know a couple. Like, I know like Kevin Hart and Ralphie
Yeah.
May. Like, I might have watched like a couple of their stuff, but like nothing like serious enough to like get into it and like study or anything like that. I've
What
just
about
always been like, I'm like, so like, as you guys know, I talk a lot of shit, right? So when I'm a freshman in high school and I'm talking shit, I got to talk my way out of it quick. So you got to be thinking on the spot. Like, I remember one time I was getting chased, like this guy's about to whoop up out of me. So I had to like talk. So like, it's just like building that instinct, like know how to talk fast, get out of anything. And it kind of like, and worked over to like humor as well, I guess.
Well, that's crazy that you say it like that because I hear comedians. I'm a huge fan of comedy, and I listen to a lot of podcasts that comedians do, and some of them talk about like putting themselves into holes like on stage, and like sometimes like I just like to put myself in a hole to exercise, and they're like I'll just say something really dumb that I know they're not going to understand or not going to like, and then try to like dig my hole and kind of like or like not dig, climb out of the hole that I've already dug comedically and try to like win the audience back after they've inadvertently or advertently on purpose lost them. So it's funny that you say that you're like, oh yeah, I got to dig myself out of these holes that I put
Yeah,
myself in. So I mean that's interesting because that's definitely probably where you got it from. If I had to guess, just because of you talking shit or maybe getting into the arguments and like using your wit and your like your suave, just like your personality to get yourself out of situations.
I've never been in a fight. So thanks to my wits, because I'd get this out of me. I would not stand a chance.
Dude, so like where were you a big gamer before you started streaming?
Like I like in high school, I played a lot of MW2. I wasn't good, but like we just have like 8 homies, and we would just play like custom lobbies. And then like I played a lot of 2K. That's mainly all I played. So like it was really hard for me to decide to stream, just because of the fact like all I really play is 2K, and I'm like I can't stream 2K. So I had like when I first started streaming, I had like dabbled a little bit into Siege. So I started on Siege, and it's crazy. A year and a half later, I'm still in this relationship with Siege, on and off. But no, I really wasn't that big into gaming. I just play a lot of 2K.
I was gonna say I noticed your love hate uninstall relationship with Rainbow Six Siege. Is it just
Yeah.
something? Is it just something with like the community of the game, or is it more just like your disdain for how people play the game? Because that reminds me of Overwatch.
So like I play ranked when I'm not streaming. And like I like to think I'm not a bad player. I'm probably like a gold rank in my mind, but like I duo or solo stack a lot. So I get put with all the trash cans that also can't find a 5 stack and that don't talk and is really bad at the game. So like I'm bronze, and I know I'm not a bronze player. So that was why I uninstalled last time, because I was just so mad. Like me and my friend, we combined for like 13 kills, and we lost 4-1, and the rest of the team combined for like 1 to 2 kills. And so like I was like, I'm done. I'm uninstalling. This game's so bad. And then a week later, I reinstalled.
Yeah, this man gives me a code to download Siege. He's like, hey man, I got a code for you. I really want to play Siege with you. I think it'd be fun. I was like, yeah, dude, I'm down. And then I hit him up on Discord. I'm like, hey man, so you want to play some Siege this week? He goes, nah, I uninstalled it. I was like, you uninstalled it? I was, yeah, I'm over it. Nah, I'm done. I was like, oh, okay, well, okay, I guess I'll just have this code. That's fine. And then literally like 2 days later, it's like
48 hours later. Yep.
It's literally on like the next line of conversation we have on Discord is me. I see him streaming Siege, and I go, hey man, I thought you were done with Siege forever. And he just sends me a screenshot. He's like,
I was getting carried. Shout out Dylan.
it's funny. It's that's like a really funny niche that I don't know if you understand it, like if you see it this way, but I definitely do. Of like, this is like a really funny comedic hook that you have where you're like uninstalling the game every other day.
I mean, like one thing about me is I'm always thinking ahead. Like even when I'm streaming, right? Like if I'm streaming Siege, I'm like, I'm gonna shoot through this wall, watch this, and I get a kill, right? If I don't get a kill, I don't get anything. But if I do get a kill, boom, clip. Oh, if this pack's purple, I'm gonna shave my head. I'm not probably gonna shave my head, but like that's another content. Like I'm always thinking of the next thing. Is like that's like one thing about me is I'm always thinking of the next step of something.
You really are, and that's what's super impressive about you because a lot of streamers can't do that. Like a lot of streamers don't have the capacity yet to be able to focus on the game, think about talking to chat if they do have a chat to talk to, but then also always in the back of their mind thinking, what can I do that's like funny for content, or like what can I talk shit here? Can I try to predict something, and if it happens, that'd be really good. And I think that's something really important to really I guess express and really portray to people that they should be trying to do is trying to like really create content, not just play. You can't just play, like especially to be a good streamer in this like day and age. You cannot just play the game unless you're either phenomenally fucking good. Even then, like you know, for people who are in the Call of Duty community at all, there's this guy named Scope is a phenomenal Call of Duty sniper. He has been for years. I mean, since I was making content, whenever I was like 16, 17, this kid was like 14 making content. He's wanted to be in FaZe forever. He's one of the best snipers. He blew up in the scene like 4 or 5 years ago. And he's just been like pushing to join FaZe, and he wants to join for so long. And his whole thing, like you've seen him develop as a creator. Not only was he really, really good, but that wasn't good enough to get him into FaZe. Like he would make these crazy montages, and he was just so good at the game. Then you saw him develop not only as a good player, but as an entertainer. And then you saw him doing what you do, John, like what a lot of us do is like predicting shit. He's like, oh, I'm going to do this, do this, do that. But then he's such a good player that he can like predict these very complex and crazy things that he's going to do next, and then like pull them off like 40, 50% of the time. And it creates for such a dynamic and cool stream that you're locked in and enthralled. So it's like, even if you could be one of the best players of all time and not get noticed by somebody, you have to have that entertainment value, and you have to like try to think of something to do to be at least different or at least entertaining, and just to try to like stand out.
Yeah, like I'm a big believer in like most of streamers in like just the world, like there's this boundary and nobody wants to like break that boundary. They just want to be like, this works, right? This works. Like it's working for this guy. I'm gonna do it. Like I like to pride myself on like I'm gonna break the boundary. Like I'm gonna make this scene. I'm gonna make a stream rap. I'm gonna make a stream jingle. Like I'm gonna get this made. I'm gonna get a custom green screen bakery made because my last name is Baker. Like I'm gonna break every boundary that I can just because I don't want to be like every other streamer. I want to set myself apart. I think that's the biggest issue, especially with like smaller streamers, is they're like, oh, it's working for this streamer, I'm gonna just copy that. And like they're not themselves. Like, and I don't know, it's weird. I'm gonna try to break every boundary I can. I'm a big believer in being different.
Same.
That's why it's called the weirdest stream on Twitch. I mean, I'm gonna be different than everybody else.
Absolutely, dude. You have too many streamers who are using these template streamer packs. And I understand like a lot of people who, you know, can't afford it, and that's cool, but like there are ways you can change things up. I mean, John, especially for a lot of your stuff, granted, I know you paid for some of your overlays to get made by artists, but that's like another level. I literally see you live on stream being like, hold on, I'm going to download this little thing really quick. And then like you on stream, like, okay, is this one good? Okay. Yeah. Let me integrate that in really quick. And then you like have your green screen, and the green screen's like what, $30, get a couple good lights, and you can literally make your stream whatever you want to be when you have a green screen. Like you don't just have to like integrate yourself into the stream. Like, oh, cool, I'm in it now. Or like, you know, there are things you could do. Like, you know, I was telling my buddy who I was in his stream the other day, I was like, hey man, it'd be really cool, because he accidentally turned his cam like upside down, and he was like up at the top left. I was like, ooh, that should be like a channel point redemption. Like have your channel like thing flip it like upside down. And he's like, oh, I never thought of that. It's like, yeah, these are the things you want to think about to help improve yourself, is to just stand out and be different. And that's something you can do for free. But like if you want to really be a good entertainer and like succeed, you got to invest in yourself financially too at some point.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I'm actually a big believer in people not using green screens. I know that sounds weird since I'm a green screen user, but like
You do it right though.
green screens are really hard to maintain. I've been talking like right before we went live, I'm having an issue with my lighting. I've had this green screen for a year and I still have issues lighting it sometimes. So like it's not really worth the headache. And like if you have a regular background, you can really showcase who you are, what you collect. So like I'm a big believer, if you're not going to be super creative with your green screen, then it's just not worth the time. Like use your background and showcase your background. because like I feel like a lot of people, I've actually put out a poll before on Twitter and I was like, do you guys like a green screen or no? And like the answer was no. Like it was like 98% people would rather people not have a green screen. So if you're not going to be creative with it, it's not even worth it in my opinion.
I think most people use the green screen to hide their laziness of like they don't want to do things with their background, or they don't have the opportunity to do as much with the background, so they instantly are like, the green screen's going to fix my problem, and all they end up doing is just chroma keying themselves out and putting it on the background of the stream, and they don't do anything else like that is like innovative or different, or try to push the boundary of that stuff. Because like if anybody knows your stream, they see the production value, and like 90% of that is just time and effort. Yeah, like you said, the green screen costs money, good lighting somewhat costs money, but like once you get out of that barrier, like you're home free. It's all about your creativity and what time you want to invest in it.
Yeah, like once I started getting money back from Twitch, I was like, I'm really gonna start like reinvesting in myself, because like I used to like, I'm talking like I had a mic that was duct taped to a fridge because I couldn't afford a mic arm. I was as bad as it could be setup wise, and no green screen. And then I moved to my last house and I'm like, man, green screens aren't that expensive. So I got a green screen. And then like after that, boom, it all just happened. But like I've always tried to be like just different. Even when I didn't have a green screen, I had some pretty dope stuff. Like people would come by my stream and it would play some music or something along the lines of that. Like if they were like a sub, like I'd give them like a sub song, they'd come by the stream, and they would like play a random song. And like I've always had stuff along the lines of that.
I think the other thing too is that people need to realize is like, while you're taking all this time to invest and learn about things, you find things that you wouldn't have found normally. Like a lot of people don't know that if you have like an NVIDIA card, you could basically chroma key out your whole background and do whatever you want now anyway with broadcast. I think it's NVIDIA broadcast. That's the new thing. And you don't even have to have like a brand new 3000 series graphics card. You can do it with like a 1080. You can do it with like all the 16 series cards. Like those bits of information you can use if you just take the time to research them, and not just hitting go live. I think that's one of the biggest things that I've been telling people, is that like if you want your stream to grow outside of just normal things that help you grow, like splitting your content onto other places and networking, even though I think networking is the least valuable asset to growing on Twitch, in my opinion. That's just me. But it's just, you got to take time to invest back into your stream, because if you don't, nobody's going to come to your stream because it just doesn't have value.
You called it that we're gonna rant, so here we go. The biggest issue is a lot of people, like there's this mindset, right, that they're gonna get on Twitter, they're gonna bitch. Like they're gonna try to bitch about whatever everybody else is bitching about so they can get pity views. And
Yep.
then you got the pity TikTok. I know Zach talked about that as well. But then you got the ones that are doing that and they stream 12 hours a day hoping to get that raid, right? What if they do get that raid? What if Ninja does raid him with however many
Exactly.
viewers? They're not going to capitalize on it because you're not ready for it. Like you have to use other social media platforms. Like I use Twitter. I'm probably one of the only streamers that use Twitter to grow. Like I'm not a giant fan of TikTok because I'm just too lazy to put out other content like that. So like I use Twitter to grow because I'm extremely lazy. I know my production value doesn't look like it, but I am lazy. So like I use Twitter, but like people just get online and they're just like, oh, we're trying to cancel this person. I'm going to jump on that, and then people are going to agree with me, and then maybe they'll be friends with me. That's literally like there's this mindset of like hundreds of people, and they're the same people. Like I'm not trying to talk shit, but they're the same people that sit to 1 to 3 views for just ever because they don't try to do anything else. I'm going to stream for 8 hours and I'm going to get that raid. Like
Absolutely,
it's
dude.
weird.
Absolutely. It's that copy and paste mindset. It's the hopping on the bandwagon of things, especially on Twitter. And I love Twitter, but that sometimes I got to take a break from Twitter because I see this shit and it's just like, it's really frustrating. And it's very like copy and paste. And I always say this. I've said this probably in every stream. You could tell. We all know. We all know when you're doing this thing, when you're like, and I understand like there's like difference between like teams and stuff when you have these social media groups that are social media gurus that are up in like, like who's up tonight, and like I get it, like that's kind of like a placeholder thing you have to do sometimes, but like I see streamers do that too, and it's like they do like, hey, who's up tonight, who's gaming, they get like 5 likes. It's like, dude, just have some original content, please. Like think of something funny. I've seen this before. I've seen this tweet. You hop on all the bandwagon tweets and you just copy and paste it, and I'm over it. I never like it. I won't like it. I won't like it. You could tweet 10,000 times, not gonna like it until you give me something original or funny, and I'll like it. It's just, it's frustrating to see, and it makes me like not. It makes me lose faith in this community sometimes, and it makes me kind of like, it almost like bums me out. It makes me stay away from Twitter until John pops in, calls me an asshole, and then I feel better about myself. But like, it really is frustrating seeing that and seeing these like fakes. They're fakes, and you know they're not going to get anywhere. And you know they're like, oh my god, guys, thanks so much for the fucking, yeah, you got fucking 500 on TikTok. That's cool. But like, I that mentality really fucking grinds my gears.
I think that's a lot of what I suffer with too, with just streaming in general. And that was one of the reasons why I stopped, because I see this group of people, right? There's this group over here that does all of those things and they're somehow successful. And then me over here trying to be original, doing original content. And it makes you get in your head because you're just like, wait a minute, they're doing dumb clout things and it's okay. And they're getting all these views, but then you're over here and you're like, I'm different and I'm wholesome and I'm doing my wholesome things, but you're not getting anywhere. And it just like, it's entertainment value. That's the only thing that I could think of, right? But then you just look at what they tweet and you're just like, wait a minute, like how do you have 2K followers? And you start spiraling and thinking all these negative things about your peers, and I hate it. It drives me crazy.
It happens to me sometimes.
Well, the biggest thing is like people will do that because like the guy you're talking about, right? He has 2,000 followers, so like, shoot, maybe I can get something from him because that's just the mindset. That's just like that's just another part of that mindset is like, man, I'm gonna try to milk, like I'm gonna try to leech off this guy. Like that's just, and it's a weird mindset to have, but that's what it is. Like, man, if I like enough of this guy's tweets, he might follow me, right? And then he might collab with me. And it's a super weird mindset. But like, I truly think that that's like in that same mindset of what I was talking about earlier. Is just like, man, maybe if I like 5 of Nash's tweets in a row, maybe he'll follow me back, and maybe we can collab. Like, I truly find that. Like, I remember one time, I'm not gonna name drop, but like one time, this dude he liked like 12 of my tweets in a row. And like, he's like, man, you should follow me back. I followed him back. Woke up the next morning, the dude unfollowed me. Like, they put all that effort in and then unfollowed me. Like, what was the point? Like, because like I wasn't gonna follow him back. It's just he started liking on my tweets. I'm like, fine, I'll follow you back. And he asked for a follow back and then just unfollowed me. Like, what was even the point of that? It's just weird. Like, people just try to like milk it, and they're like, oh shoot, look, John's following me, boom, and like screenshot. Like, he didn't do that, but like, screenshot. Look, this guy's following me. It's just a weird freaking mindset.
Put the content, put the badge on, Stevie. We're the content police. We need to
clout
get badges.
police.
I'm gonna get badges, bro. I'm legit gonna be bad. I'm gonna get us all badges. We're gonna be the content cops, bro. Swear to God.
I'm down
but
for
yeah,
it.
dude. Yeah, there are people who do that, and like, there are people who kind of know, like, they jump into people's streams with the intent of like trying to network, right? Like, I retweeted this thing the other day. Some girl was like, I hate it whenever I go into people's streams and I'm trying to develop normal friendships, but they don't want to be my friend. And it's like, yeah, because you came in as a viewer. You can't come in with the mindset of you're gonna be that person's friend. You want something from them. And yeah, even if it's just a friendship, that's cool. But like, this is Twitch. You come into somebody's Twitch stream with the premise of, any if it happens organically, that's fine and that's great and that's awesome. But I've developed friendships from people who are just in my stream, like friends who I consider really close friends. But like, you can't go in there and then tweet, go on Twitter and get mad because fucking JimBob87 TTV didn't want to be your fucking friend. That's disingenuous, in my opinion. And listen, other people may be like, well, maybe you're just trying to find friends. Well, that's cool. I want to find friends too. But like, it's just annoying. And I hate that mindset, and it's just like frustrating to me. And John, like, do you feel like that's a problem in the community? I mean, obviously a little bit because you've been ranting about it, but do you have problems? Do you have problems like finding and finding genuine connections and friendships in the streamer scene?
Yeah, I'm like I have, it's like never really happened to me. I mean, it's probably happened a little bit, but like not too much. Like, I'm always afraid, like, if somebody reaches out or like wants to try to be my friend, that they're just using me. And like, I don't know why I have that mindset. So like, I am super like picky about who I let in. Like, if somebody follows me and they try to make a connection, like I'm instantly like messaging somebody that I know that we share like a mutual follow with, and I'm like, yo, what's up with this guy?
Yes.
Just because like I'm just super picky. Like I don't let people on my stream. Like we game, of course, but like I struggle to let people on my stream. But it's not really for any reason other than like I'm trying to focus on my chat, so like I kind of forget to talk to people.
Yeah.
But like I really try to do this streaming thing just solo. Like I have my friends, of course, but like I try to just do this thing solo. I don't really let people in. I got like I'd say less than 15 friends from Twitch, honestly, because like
Yeah.
I have like acquaintances. I probably mispronounced that word, but that's fine. But like I have like 15 people I would consider my friend.
Yeah, and that's something that's really tough with streamer friends is like, especially when you're trying to focus on your chat, is because I do this and my friends get mad at me for it, is
Yeah, I hate you.
I know. So I'll go on deafen to talk on my chat. And then they're like, "Where the fuck are you on deafen? Why are you on deafen, bro?" I was like, "I'm sorry, I'm trying to chat with the homies. Like give me a second." But like that's one of the great thing of like having of playing with you is that like you understand that as like a streamer who's chat oriented, but also just like a good streamer. But then you also just like start talking shit for me being on deaf, and it's like a meme and a joke, and it becomes like this like inside joke. It's like, "Oh, John, he's deafened again. Oh, get him, John." And it's just like that dynamic is fun, and it's hard to get that dynamic with people because some people will like maybe get like actually mad at you because you deafen too much, or or just like it's hard finding people that kind of like understand that.
I like to think that I could probably game with anybody, and just mesh well. But yeah, I definitely hate when you do it, and I talk shit as soon as you can't hear me. So there's that.
At least you're not like Meg, who literally has like a lobby of 14 people trying to talk over her on stream, and she won't deafen the lobby. And it's just like I
was
can't
yelling
hear
at her
you,
last
Meg.
night about it. I was yelling at her last night. I'm like, mute them real quick. I'm trying to hear you.
Yeah, like I can hear what you're saying. And I think that's one of the hardest things when you start getting into the upper echelon of streaming is focusing on the little things like monitoring sound, like niche audio. And that's one thing that like, you have a Go XLR, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So something with the Go XLR really does well is it allows you to route certain sets of audio to certain things. So I could drop down my Discord audio to 0 really quick, put myself on mute, shoot the shit with chat, not have to worry about it. Or even my game audio, turn my game audio down really quick. If like there's a fucking helicopter coming down and Hellfire's raining, but then like somebody raided me, I'll turn that shit all the way down to 0, start going. And it's so nice. And I will go back on almost every single VOD, at least for a minute, and make sure like my audio was good for that day, so I know like where my levels are and my dials are. It's like because I've had streams where like I'm like, how did people not tell me that my music was so loud you couldn't fucking understand what I was saying? And so there's like that bounce to be had. I think that's one of the biggest problems. I think once streamers dial in everything else, is to like make sure that everything else, like all the audio, is dialed in. It's like, I see that in people's streams that I watch that I really like. Like I don't want to like call anybody out. I let them know in like privately. I'm not trying to say they're bad streamers because they're not. But like I'm like, dude, like your stream is really great, but like you're talking to people and I don't know what they're saying back to you because their audio is too low, and I'm missing like a dynamic of the stream because I'm missing the banter. And I that's like I think probably one of my biggest frustrations in watching some people's streams is that I can hear them well, but I can't hear who they're talking to well. And that's one of the biggest thing. I always try to like make sure that anybody I'm playing with, that my chat can hear well. And I'll even ask, like, "Hey, you guys hear them okay?" Like, yeah, they're a little low. Cool. Bump them up a little bit.
Yeah. Like this is for all the viewers out there. Like, please, if something's like doesn't sound right, please call it out, like politely. But like, please let like streamers know, because sometimes they don't, and it could definitely help out. Like, one of my shit posts the other day, this dude tried talking smack, so I went and looked at his stream, and he streamed for an hour and a half on his starting soon screen. So,
oh, poor guy.
We had people talking in his chat, so like that's just one little word. You're like, hey, change scenes. Like, could have did that, but he streamed an hour and a half on a starting soon screen. So like, it's not hard to like help streamers out, because like we're people too. We make mistakes. So, like, call people out for like their audios and stuff like that nicely, and like help them get it figured out.
I used to do that a lot before I kind of switched to my new format of my stream that I have now, to where even if it is my like intermission screen, they can still see gameplay. So it's just like, even if I do fuck up and like don't see it for a minute, you're still seeing what's going on. They're like, hey, I don't know if you meant for this to happen, but like, you could switch to the other one. I was like, oh yeah, I'll do that's fine. But like I've totally done that. I've full screen because like I my intermission screen really was just me full screening, and
Yeah.
then I would literally be playing on full screen, and like this is whenever I didn't have any viewers or very few viewers, or somebody hop in and be like, hey, you know you're on full screen, and I was like, fuck.
I
Happens
got
to the
this
best
cool
of us.
clip. I got this cool clip.
I think that's the one thing too when we talk about like improving your stream and like investing back into yourself is investing in the tools that help you do those things easier, aka stream decks, Go XLRs, even though those
Yeah.
are mad expensive, but like
They're
those
worth it.
they're 100% worth it. And like even if you don't want to buy a stream deck, they have the mobile app for it, and like you can buy 6 years of that before you meet the price of the stream deck. But like you have all these tools to help increase your productivity during stream, because nothing is worse than seeing a streamer continuously alt tab and their screen freezes and you know they're switching scenes or they're doing stuff, and it's just like just keep it simple until you get to that point where you can maximize your productivity and make things look better.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I used to use a full keyboard, and I would hotkey 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like the num key. That's how I would change my scenes.
Same.
And then I figured out how to code it so my mods could change my scenes for me. I got rid of that, but like there was
That's
I used to have
dope.
that. I can teach you.
Dude, that's sick. And that's the cool thing is like learning these little tricks and these things that can allow you to have a better interaction with your chat, and little it's a combination of little things, right? Like if you add 15 to 20 little things that make your stream unique, you have one of the most unique streams. Like one of the ability for me, like my stream, you can't see it in frame probably right now, but I have these leaf lights in my stream in the background, and they can I got this software, yeah, just like in Stevie's. I had this software that allows the chat to be able to change the color for whatever they want, and then if you're a sub, you can actually like make it flash and do like some of these other animations and things. And that's like that another layer of of animation, and like like what you were just talking about, John, is that like you could potentially, I'm sure you could do this, like set up a command and have them like do a little layout. And I've seen your channel points. Your channel points are fucking amazing. You have some of the best channel points in the game, where you have your channel points integrated to where it actually like switches to certain overlays or brings up like memes or gifs or animations that allow you to do certain things. And like these are things that are free. It costs you your time and your energy, and yeah, it's a little bit stressful, and you don't have to add 15,000 things at once. Just like make the goal to add one unique thing every 2 weeks, or like one small improvement, even if it's like, oh, I want my fucking gingerbread house in a stream today. And it's like, fine, add your gingerbread house into the fucking stream, and then you've improved by 0.01 margin, and then you keep doing that. There's no way you don't succeed, or at least improve.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when I first started streaming, I don't really do it that much anymore, but when I first started streaming for the first year, I would make one adjustment every day. Like even if I didn't stream, I would make one adjustment. I'd find something to work on, critique myself on. And I don't do that anymore, but like I used to do that every day. I would find something, move my brightness up by 1, take it down by 1, like until I'd get to where I needed to be. Like I would constantly be changing stuff. Like the worst thing a streamer can do is get complacent.
Absolutely. I even catch myself doing that sometimes. I'll go like 2 weeks, like I didn't do a fucking thing, and I freak out and I panic and I take a week off and I just like improve something. Even if it's like one thing, it's at least it's something that helps you to just be a little bit better than you were before. And I think that's huge. If anybody can just like take one thing, it's just improve one little thing. And yeah, there are those big purchases you want to make, right? But listen, I say this, this is like a repetitive thing, but I say this every single podcast, and I'll continue to say it every single podcast. We're not just video game streamers anymore. We are broadcasters. This shit's starting to be like a radio show. Like this shit, it's different. It's different now. You can't just be one dimensional anymore. You've got to diversify your content. You've got to be able to change things up. And like small logistical things, like I did a gingerbread house making stream today, and like there are things that I bought that I haven't even used until today that I knew I would need in the future, like this tripod boom arm, little things that you didn't think you would need, like USB extenders. I would not be able to do the stream if I didn't have my 2 USB extenders that I have right now. I wouldn't be able to do it. I wouldn't be able to have my Go XLR like 30 feet from my fucking computer, like little things like that, like anything you can think of, even if it's something for an idea you can't execute for another 6 months. Just do it. Just have that idea, even if it's too big for you right now. You might be able to grow to where it won't be too big for you in the future. And also like certain things you'll outgrow certain things as you grow as a streamer, right? Like I have a bear hat redemption. You might or might not be able to see it, but I have this bear hat that I wear for so many points, right? It's kind of like become a weird niche. It's like almost like my fucking brand. It's weird. It's weird how it's happened, but like it's one of those things where I started it out at like 800 channel points. 800 channel points. Like anybody who sat in my stream for like 20 minutes could redeem it. And then I'm wearing the bear hat. It's funny. As I grew, every stream I had to wear that goddamn bear hat, and I started to go insane. And then so I'd have to up the channel points. Up the channel points. Now it's like fucking 20,000 channel points. People keep redeeming it. I don't know what to do. But like that's the thing. You adapt. You have to change and adapt as you grow, and you can't stay stagnant.
Yeah, exactly. I agree 100%. Also, I know you said you like my channel points, but I know you actually hate them because the numbers, and because nobody likes the numbers of my channel points because they're not even, they're just a bunch of random numbers.
Oh, it doesn't even bother me. I don't care.
People hate it, man. Like my hydrate is 768. Make me dab is 1,007. Like people, that's the first thing people notice when they come here. Like, because nothing's like 5,000. Like the loser meme that pops up, 5,487. Like they're just the weirdest numbers, and it makes people mad. So that's why I leave it there.
That's funny though. You're initiating a reaction. Like that's such a John thing to do. You know what I mean? Like, dude, that's it. I mean, that's literally what you do to set yourself apart. It's that easy. It's literally that fucking easy, ladies and gentlemen. Just make your like little things that like fit to your personality. It's like, I'm gonna do this to fuck with them. Just that's it. That's it. It's little things that can be free to do that make you that set yourself apart from anybody else.
I can give 4 quick tips that'll help set people apart. 1, use emojis in your title. Nobody does it. It stands out when they're browsing through a page. Not even joking. Scroll through any category. The one with the emoji is gonna be the first one you find. So do that.
Eggplant water emojis. Eggplant water emojis.
Anyone. When you're streaming, don't have your camera in the bottom left, put it in the bottom right. Because when you're scrolling through, the numbers block your camera. 3, random channel points that got like people come by, and that's the first thing to see. They start talking about that. And 4, you can do like a question of the day. People used to love that when I did it. Like people came by and they would just ask what the question of the day was. Led to a conversation. And 5, add fucking closed captionings.
I'm not adding closed captions just because you're pushing it so hard.
No, it's so easy. I don't get how people can't add it. It makes me so mad. It takes 2 seconds and it helps people out.
That's fair. See, now I wanted to push her argument, but now it's like, and now I have to do it because it's
don't argue with me. You won't win.
Sorry, Dad. Well, dude, Stevie, do you have any other questions? Because there is a particular topic I wanted to shift into, but I don't want to segue if you had anything to add to what we're talking about right now.
No, I think I know where you're gonna go, so I'm looking forward to this one.
Cool. So you're super unique, and you're like a really great content creator, but you do this thing where you're like, I'm not going to stream for a while. And it bums me out because also I love you as a streamer, but also just like I know your potential to be like such a good streamer. I mean, you already are. I know your potential to be like a successful streamer financially, and I know you kind of have like a love-hate relationship with Twitch. So can you just like tell us a little more how you feel, like how you felt when you first started, how you feel about it now, and if you enjoy it, and like if you don't enjoy certain aspects, like what aspects do you not enjoy, and like what do you think you could do to help yourself enjoy it more, or like maybe help mitigate certain aspects of like feeling burnt out or feeling like it's just not fulfilling you?
So first I want to touch on why I don't stream that much anymore. So I moved recently, and it's super awkward in my house. It's not like awkward, but it's like I moved in with a guy who has 2 kids and 2 dogs. So like the dogs are barking, the kids are yelling. So it's hard to find the time. And like, I'm a loud streamer, right? Like I have reactions and stuff like that. So I don't want to like get too loud, wake the kids up when they're here. I don't want to get too loud and wake him up or disrupt him. So it's like it's super hard to try to find the balance right now. So that's where I'm at with that. But hopefully I buy a house in May, and then I'll be able to stream back.
John,
but when I first,
really quick, if you don't buy a house in May, my lease ends in July. I will literally be your roommate. Come to Texas. I'm not joking. Think about it. I'm dead fucking serious. This is not a joke. This is not a meme. My lease ends in July. Come be my roommate. I am so 1 billion% down. If you're willing to come to Texas, come visit, hang out. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you because I want to hear more about you, but like, I'm serious. Think about it. Continue.
So when I first started streaming, I truly enjoyed it. Just because like I'm a really quiet guy in person, and I know that might sound like confusing because like I'm not a quiet guy, but like in person, I don't talk. Like when I went to like when I was like in the bar ages, like I'd go to the bar with my friends and I would just be the guy just sitting there, right? Like I'm just here to drink. I don't talk. So like I've never been one to like blah 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 blah. That's just not me. I'm quiet. I just kind of like I'm a people watcher. So like when I went streaming, like it was a whole different aspect. Like I got to like I guess truly be myself because I was just always afraid to like be judged, you know? Like cuz my personality is not for everybody. It's not. It's definitely not in a bar scene. Like I could say the wrong thing to a drunk guy, I'm getting knocked out. like so like I've always just been quiet. So like streaming's really let me be myself. Like that's like with my creativity and stuff along the lines of that. So like I truly enjoyed it when I started streaming. Um and then like I started making money and that's where it got like serious. So like I'm gonna be honest, and this might lose me some followers, but honestly, I don't care. I stream for money, and that's the only reason. Like if I stopped making money right now, I'd stop streaming. It's just not worth it because of the mental drainage that it causes. The fake friends, just the thinking of content, thinking of how to be unique. Like I stream for money. Like, and a lot of people hate that, but that's just how it is. Um, there's nothing that could make it better. Like honestly, because it's just the community is shit. Like, pardon my language, but it is. This community is the worst community I've ever seen. You go on Twitter, it's people bitching about people. You go to Twitch, it's people bitching about each other. You go to YouTube, it's people bitching about each other. So like if I stop making money on Twitch, I would literally just sell all my stuff and never go live again. And I wouldn't even double think on it.
Do you think that there are things that you can do to help quality to improve the quality of your day to day with Twitch and with streaming, like surrounding yourself with more people that you enjoy being around? Obviously, like you have to deal with a community as a whole, right? Of like these people that we talked about, like the fake friends and the tweets and stuff. But like, do you think there's ever, which is something I struggle with, and it's something I'm kind of aspiring to try to do, is surround myself with people I really enjoy being with and being around, and just constantly having them around me and them being the community I want to be around of my friends and my peers. Do you think that there's ever a way you can create that bubble of the people you enjoy, kind of like in knowing that there's that outside world of these people that you don't really enjoy interacting with, and kind of like live your life and create content in that way? Because I think, I could be wrong, but I feel like you like being unique and you like making content, and yeah, it can get a little stressful and overwhelming, but like I feel like you're a creative dude and that you need some sort of outlet for that anyways. So don't you like in a sense kind of enjoy that creative outlet of creating content, or do you think you put too much pressure on yourself?
I put way too much pressure on myself because, like I said, I stream for money. So like as soon as like any like if I so like I used to stream to 20 viewers, and then I took like a week off, and then I could just went down, right? So I'm like 12, and I'm like, like what, like how do I get back up? Like so like I'm big on the numbers. Everyone's like, don't look at your numbers, blah 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 blah. But if your numbers are dropping, you have to look because clearly you're doing something wrong, right? If you go from 20 and then like it just keeps going down, like it's just downward spiral, right? You're something's up. You gotta look at it. Like people that say don't look at your numbers, or it's a weird mindset, especially if you want to make money off of this site. Because if your numbers are going down, you're not doing something right. Like not all the time, not all the time, but like it's like if you're doing your job at work, right? And your production at work goes down. What do? Do you just keep going, or does your boss come talk to you about it? It's just
Steve,
that mindset.
Stevie, go ahead because I could tell you're really antsy on this one. I agree. I'm with you.
I think it's hard. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with streaming for money and seeing that as a monetary gain and capitalizing on that. There's nothing wrong, and I will never not support you on that ever. Because at the end of the day, we're all adults here, and we're all in different monetary positions where an extra 3 or 4 or 5, 6, 7,000, 1,500 is going to help you. Or it could help you help someone else. And that's something I'm never going to frown on with people. But I feel like there's a very negative stigma, and people find it disingenuous. Like, how do you get into streaming and focus on money? But it's just like, why does anyone do anything in this world? There's things that you just need to take care of as an adult, and all of them require money. The roof over your head requires money. Your internet requires money. So, like, I'm never going to get on somebody about that kind of stuff. But the one thing I will say about the numbers thing is Twitch is so volatile with the up and down that I don't think there's a clear way to tell a trend. So you might not always know why you're messing up or why your viewers aren't going. I had the same conversation with Meg. Like, Meg sitting here like, I don't understand why this person has this many viewers, but I have this many viewers. And I'm like, well, objectively, like, your stream is better in every fashion, but maybe those viewers just don't find you entertaining as they find that person.
Or I don't even think it's that. I think it's mainly like those viewers probably, if they stop watching you, they're probably not watching Twitch anymore. Like there are some very like up and down like new Twitch viewers. And I understand where your mentality is of like what am I doing wrong? Because I think it's good to be that way, but also you can't let it consume you. And this is coming from someone who lets it consume him. So a lot of times
it's already consuming. That's why
my
mine's like this. Like it's already consumed me, and I'm not getting out of it. Like I've been consumed for like months, man. So like I've already like gave up on trying to get out of it because like in the end it is about numbers. Like if you want to do this full time, it's about numbers.
Right. I agree with you because I'll be one of the ones to admit as well that if there wasn't monetary value in this and if I didn't see a potential future in this, I wouldn't be doing it. Just logistically, I enjoy what I do. I really love what I do. But if I didn't see some sort of future in doing so, then I definitely would not be doing this. So I definitely get where you're going there. But like Twitch as an industry is just so like it's so volatile. Streaming as an industry is so volatile, and it's like Steve was saying, you never know like why a viewer stopped. Maybe they just grew out of the whole genre of entertainment in a whole. And I think Stevie would agree with me. And I'll turn it back to you in a second because I may have cut you off earlier. That if you got like a massive raid by somebody, they would stick around. You are one of the biggest instances of a great entertainer that just hasn't been found out yet. Like I'm one of the biggest believers that if you got 1,000-person raid, your life would be changed forever because 400 of those people would probably be regulars.
Can I cut you off real quick before you start, Steve? So like that's another issue I feel that Twitch people have is too many people are like, dude, you're so good, dude, you're so good, dude, you're so good. Like as a guy who has like depression, like and like thoughts about like I'm not a good streamer, right? And then it's just people constantly saying I'm a good streamer and like I deserve more. And then I never see them anywhere, like not liking something on Twitter, never not coming by my Twitch. So it like fucks with my mental, right? Like, am I really that good if you don't reach out unless if I put like, oh shit, I'm sad on the timeline. That's the only time, right? If I'm like, fuck, I'm just not in a good mental headspace. Everyone's like, no, dude, you're such a good streamer. You're such a good person. But like, if I don't put something like that, I never see them. So it just fucks with people's mentals. And like, I think that people on Twitch have to kind of get away from just the you're so good mentality to like telling people that because it just fucks with people's heads. Like if you only hear that you're good and you're good and you're good and you're good and like it's just like your numbers just stay whatever, like even if it's not good numbers, but if it just stays there, it just fucks with your mental because like am I really that good like you guys are telling me if I'm not in like if my numbers aren't improving at all, if that makes sense.
Right. I 100% know what you're saying. And two things for that. One, I tell a lot of I will never tell someone they're not a good or they're a good streamer if I don't think they're a good streamer. Me personally, I would never lie. If I've never told you you're a good streamer, I probably don't think you're a good streamer. I'm sorry. And it is what it is. But I have a high threshold. Like I rarely have people who I believe are good streamers. But also, like Megazor, she's a great streamer. I like her a lot. I think she's a good streamer. I feel bad because I'm not in her chat that much. I'm not the biggest consumer of Twitch. I'm so busy doing my own thing, and I do feel bad that I'm not in there as much as I should be. But it's like we kind of have like very similar like streaming days as well. So as someone who's like a fan of Meg and a fan of you, as much as I want to be in their streams, I'm not as much as I'd like to, and I hate that, and I want to be better about that. So I can totally see how there are like a lot of broadcasters who are like, dude, like you are really good at what you do, that may not particularly hop in and support just because maybe they don't have that mental threshold to be able to do so because they're so busy making their own content or things like that. So I see both sides because I'm definitely with you because I don't want to be fucking lied to. And obviously you don't either. And I hope you know when I say you're one of my favorite streamers, I'm not joking. Like I 100% believe it. And but like I think there are people who really do think you're a good streamer, but may not be able to like go in and support.
Well, I'm just meaning like you don't even like I don't even see him on Twitter until I post like a depressed tweet is what I mean. Like I'm not even meaning like Twitch. Like I don't even mean Twitch. Like people don't come on my stream. That's fine. My stream's not for everybody. That's fine. Whatever. I know I put out good content, but my content, like you could say I have good content, but that doesn't mean you truly like my content, right? Like you could say that, and mean it, but it doesn't mean like it's just not the content for you.
Right.
But like, I mean, like they only like reply to anything on Twitter or like any tweet if it's something that like I'm sad. Like they don't like any content. They don't like man. I got people that say they love my skits. They've never liked one of my fucking skits. How the hell does that make sense?
Well, those are people you got to separate yourself from.
I do, man. I don't follow any of them. It's just like it just fucks with your mental though. Like, if, dude, you're good, and then like they don't show any love on anything until you're sad again, and like it's just it's a weird thing that it's like in the streaming community. Like, I don't know how to word it. They only like you when you're sad, like when there's something to gain from it.
Yeah, or they like you when you start blowing up, or they like you when you're popping.
Yeah, when
off.
there's something to gain from it. That's the only time people give a fuck about you.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can cuss on this podcast. I'm sorry.
No, have you not heard me, bro? I think I literally like I responded to a tweet the other day. They were like, I was like, oh yeah, I'm the guy that cusses a lot. Sorry, Stevie, go ahead. I've interrupted you.
No, you're okay. I think I relate to you a lot with this, John, because to be honest with you, one of the main reasons I quit streaming was that exactly. Because you sit here, you get done streaming, and you're instantly in this mindset of like, you know, you start thinking about your numbers because, you know, you see what happened with me is I had a lot of subs right at the start, right? I had like almost 100 at one point in like 2 months into streaming. I think that's pretty good. And you see these things start happening, but then my concurrent viewers is like 7. And I'm just like, what the F is going on? And all these people are like, no, your stream is great. And then I start asking people, well, why aren't you in it? And it starts playing with your head. And like, I'm not the person who wants to be resentful or like not like people, right? I've gone most of my life being very guarded. So making new friends is like very difficult for me. So when you have to open up and accept this, and Twitch is in a spot where I think a lot of the reason why people have success is because they can shift their tone and be positive and all those things. And to be honest with you, the last 16 months of my life is not a place I can do that. I'm not going to fake it if I'm not okay. If I hit go live and I'm in a shit mood, I'm just in a shit mood, but I wanted to go live because I enjoy doing it. But then like people are like, well, we don't want to come in and stream. He's not positive. And like, it really plays with your head. And then one of the other things I was dealing with, and I'll be honest with you, is like Meg being as successful as she is near and dear to me. I love my wife very much. And all the successes that she has, I'm very proud. But then I look at myself being like, we stream on the same internet. We stream in the same damn room. We have the same friends. Yet none of them are in my stream. None, but they always tell me, oh, you're great, man. I love your stream. Where are you then? And like, I get that, like, this is not for everyone. Streaming is not for everyone. And it's going to be even more mentally taxing when you're constantly thinking about trying to improve your stream and why you're not where you should be. If you're constantly doing that, it's just not good for your mental. So I very much understand you. It's been very difficult for me. And every time the last 2 weeks I've wanted to hit that go live button, I haven't done it because I'm still like, I don't want to facilitate fakeness. And I think that's the biggest problem with the Twitch community. And that's the hardest thing I have with making friends. And I'm not just saying that because you guys are here either, but like you two are the two that I've probably gotten the closest to because you're not fake. You're very genuine. And I know that from just talking to you outside of Twitch and getting to know you.
Go ahead. Sorry. John. Okay, sorry, I thought you were going to talk. Yeah, I 100% agree. I think one of the hardest things for me when I started streaming and kind of, because I used to just stream like by myself. I wasn't engulfed in a community. I had two concurrent viewers sometimes, and that was it. I didn't have any sort of, I was barely on Twitter, where I'd tweet and I get 2 likes, nobody cared. And it was like, now that I'm engulfed in an actual community, it's really hard, or it's been really hard. I've gotten better at it. In understanding that I'm around these people that I may not like, and I understand they're not going away because they're friends with my friends or they're friends of a viewer that's a friend with my friend. It's one of those things where it's like they're always going to be around. And I'm the kind of guy where like if I don't like a person, I don't want them anywhere in my life at all. I don't want to think about you ever. And the hardest thing for me was to like, have an understanding that these people who I don't like because of like maybe how they're presenting themselves or how I know they're being fake or just their attitudes or just personalities don't mesh sometimes. And knowing that I have to kind of at least like have them in my life no matter what, it was really hard for me. I've finally now just gotten better at like compartmentalizing that and understanding like, oh yeah, they're around, but I don't give a fuck about them. It's fine. They're there, but they're nothing to me. And I think that that was one of the hardest things that I've ever done, and that I'm still working on doing.
So I just want to clear up something real quick. That wasn't like a pity. Like I know you two don't understand that, but like that wasn't like a pity. Like nobody stops by my stream. That's just my mindset of like I hate that. Oh no, you're the best bullshit. Like don't come with me. Don't come to me with that. I had to clear that up so people don't think I'm
Yeah, dude,
pity viewing stuff.
I didn't take that at all. If they do, they're in the wrong mindset. I know I totally get where you're coming from. I didn't take that at the very least, and I don't think anybody who has a right fucking head on their shoulders would. No, and I get where you're coming from, and it's also someone like you. You're not like this like static webcam streamer that has a dull personality that's like, where are my views? No, you're like a genuinely entertaining dude, and you're like, why aren't these people that say they like me like fucking with me?
I
And
will
so yeah,
say though, I will say I would never stream on Twitch full time. Never. Like I could average 5,000 subs, bro. I would never quit my job to do this full time.
wow.
I don't have a passion for streaming. You asked earlier, like if I would have that creative niche, I would just help my friends out. Like, when I take my breaks, I give all my content ideas to my friends. Because like I got some green screen homies, so I'm sending them my ideas. I got some homies, I'm just sending them my ideas. So like that's how I get my creative release. But I really don't have a passion for streaming. Um, that's why I just don't stream that much anymore. It feels weird because I joined Pride and I've streamed like 20 times since then. So it probably looks bad, but I just really I lost the love for streaming like 6 to 7 months ago. Now it's just extra extra money every month.
And you don't think you're ever going to get that back?
I don't think so. I don't. Um, no, I don't.
Do you think you can ever use your creative outlets for something else? I mean, because I wouldn't you rather use your creative outlet to gain financially instead of like like working your job? You say you're installing Windows or making Windows. You don't think you would enjoy that more if even if you were a content creator and you maybe didn't have a passion for it? But do you think if you did that, you would like it more than what you do as your day job currently?
I don't know because like my current job, like I'm a team lead slash like almost supervisor. So like I get to like really use my brain doing that. Not saying I won't be able to use my brain like streaming or making content or coming up with ideas, but like it's like a whole different thing. Like every day is like a new shit show to try to conquer. So like I truly enjoy it. Like I bitch about it a lot, but it's like it's a factory. Like who wouldn't bitch? But at the same time, like I love it. And like I'm such a loyal guy. I've been there almost 9 years and they've never done anything wrong to me. That's probably like a weird personality to have, like in like a job sense, but like they've never done anything wrong to me. They've like so like I'll probably be here until they fire me, whatever that is. Like I'm okay with it. Like I'm a very basic guy, man. Like wake up, go to work, come home. I'm either streaming or I'm watching Twitch. Like I don't need much. Like streaming is okay, but like I like my job because it gives me like in person. Like if I did like think about it like this,
Social feedback.
if I streamed full time, I would never leave my house, and that's not a joke. Like I would go to Walmart and back. Like what why do I have to leave my house? Everything I do is on my computer. So like working a full time job is like okay, got to leave the house today. Like I have 2 weeks coming up, and Wednesday, I bet I don't leave my house. I'm not joking.
Well, and
That's
that's something that you can that really does like that's something I think is like as far as a mental health thing. So you mentioned mental health. And then like that's something that I really had to adjust to when I started working from home about 5 years ago. Is I had to start taking trips. Like I literally will wake up and I'll go get coffee. Even if I don't want coffee, sometimes I don't even finish it. Sometimes I take 2 sips and I'm over it. But like I just getting out is like so good for your mental health. And I think do you not think that maybe like you could try to like implement those sort of practices and like have like just like try to have like this well balanced life with Twitch? Do you think it would help you enjoy it, or do you think it's really one of those things where you're like, nah, I don't think this is what I want to do for the rest of my life?
I'm the type of guy that like once I'm over something, I'm like, oh, I'm over it. Like even with people, like if you fuck me over one time, I'm done.
Same. Same.
Like I
Same way.
don't care. Like you could be my best friend. If you do one bad thing, I'm cutting you out of my life. Which actually backfires more often than not.
Yeah.
But like I'm the same with like everything though. Like if I really lose my passion, no, I'm probably not getting it back. Like I took a week off of Siege. Bro, I'm gonna be honest, I thought about Siege every day. Like I thought about re-downloading it every day, like because that passion just won't go away. But like streaming, like I've streamed like 10 times since November. It seems like I'm sure it's been more, but like
Yeah.
it's low. Like every day, I'm like, shit. At here, if you guys want to stream tonight, 10 reactions, I'll stream. Like it's come to that. Like it
Yeah.
really has. Like it's in me discording pinging and I'm like if you guys get 10 likes on this I'll go live tonight because like they like it and it does help them forget about their life and like that does make me feel good, but at the same time it doesn't really make me feel bad, but it, like it does because it's just a lot of energy. And
It is exhausting. Yeah.
but sometimes like I know Five said it, but like sometimes it's bigger than you, so like that's another reason why I do stream. Like I do stream for money. Like I'm not afraid to lie about that. But like I also stream because I know like a couple of my friends and a couple of my mods like they like it really fuck with my stream because it helps them just kind of forget about their like life for a little bit. Like two of
Okay.
my mods, they've lived a rough life from what I've heard. Like I have two twins, not two twins, like I said, it's twins. They've been in my stream since literally day one. I'm at a year and like 8 months. They've not missed one stream. One has like 55,000 messages in my chat. Like
Wow.
they really seem like they need my stream, right? Like they talk to me and like it seems like they've had a rough life. So like it is bigger than me. And that is another reason why I stream. And it is another reason why I have all my funny scenes because I know it will make people laugh. But at the same time, it is hard work for me to go live just because my mental health is just so bad. And like I can take a break from streaming, but like I can't take a break from Twitter, right? Like I still got to have that presence. Because say I take a month off of streaming and a month off of Twitter, literally everyone's gonna forget who the hell I am because that is just how content creation is. So like I can take a break from Twitch, which I have been, but like I still got to put out content or tweets out because I want to remain somewhat relevant. Because if you take a month off and you just go zero dark 30 or whatever people say, they're literally gonna forget me. That's just how content creation is. So like I took a break from Twitch to clear my mental, but it's still fucking my mental up because I still have to post stuff on Twitter to stay relevant.
Right. No, that totally makes sense. Do you think that it's your depression that might be clouding your judgment on how you feel? And do you think if you end up tackling that, and hopefully when you tackle that, that you think you might have your love for streaming again? Because I've definitely had that. I've been, I've gone to a depressive hole. I mean, recently, where I was like, I'm a shitty streamer, and I'm like, or like I don't enjoy it anymore. There's too much pressure, and then like once you get out of it, you're kind of like, oh yeah, I do love this. It's just like my depression had clouded my judgment from thinking that I liked it as much as I did.
So like I am more depressed in like these type of months because I don't talk to my family at all. So like holidays are rough. Um, so like that is a big part of it, just because of that. But like I said, like it's been gone for like 6 to 7 months. So like it's even been before like the holidays. And I really wasn't like as depressed, as weird as that sounds, like as depressed, but like I wasn't as depressed back a couple months ago. So like I don't really think it's that. I think it's just like I don't know.
Well,
It's
yeah,
weird.
and it's okay to not know. You know what I mean? And I know we're asking these questions, but it's totally okay to not know. And yeah, I mean, you could take a month break. I mean, from everything, maybe come back and you're all fresh, or maybe you decide to move on. And either way is totally fine. I mean, obviously, your mental health is the most important thing. But it's hard to try to figure out what you need to do to get that fixed, right? I mean, it's tough. It's tough, like trying to just find happiness in your day to day. I think we all struggle with that. So um, I totally understand where you're coming from, man.
Like if I didn't even stream, like I live in small town Kansas for those guys who don't know. Like I graduated with like 25 people in my class. Like small town. So like if I don't stream, like what the fuck am I gonna do? Am I gonna go hang out with the cows? Like, what am I gonna do? Like, there's nothing to do here. There's like 8 restaurants, there's 3 stoplights, and like I don't know anybody here. All my friends moved to LA. So like it's like if I don't stream, like I don't have anything to do.
Right.
Like so it's like stream.
Sorry, go ahead, Stevie.
I mean, I I relate to a lot of what you're saying, especially like the last 16 months of my life specifically have not been a crapshoot. They've been pretty awful, if I'm being honest with you, outside of a few things. But like, I always worry about my mental health and doing things to improve it and trying to not let a lot of it cloud your judgment enough to make you lose passion for things. That's difficult to come back out of. But I think honestly, one of the things that has helped me, and it's going to sound really weird, is the streaming community and Twitch, people in Pride, you guys. Like, a lot of them have helped me, maybe because they seem more grounded, and they make me maybe realize some of my stuff that I'm going through. I'm not the only one going through it. So you kind of put some perspective on it to maybe get through it a little bit better. But at the end of the day, man, your mental health is T1. And if you're not feeling it, nobody's going to, you know, yell at you if you don't stream. Like, it's all you and what you want to do. But I do believe that, like, if you're at least making a positive impact on someone, that's time well spent. And I think that's something to celebrate, at least.
Exactly.
I agree. And it's that perpetual loop of kind of like having this bit of depression, but then also your one outlet that you have also kind of leading and adding on to the depression. So it's like this loop of like, well, this is what I do to get out of the depression, but this is also making me depressed. So it's like you're going through this whole like, what, pick the lesser evil now. So you're fucked. And it's just like, it's tough. It's tough. And like, you will get out of the loop. You will. And it will, not to get motivational speaker here like an asshole, but like you will be able to eventually readjust your mindset to be able to get out of this loop, whether it be staying where you are and kind of having a better understanding of what it is and restructuring your thought process, or changing it up and doing other things. Because I know we probably need to wrap up soon, but you are one of the most talented people I know. You're very funny. You're not to suck your dick again, but like you're very funny, you're very creative. I think if you anything you wanted to pursue, I think especially as far as like entertainment creativity, I think you would excel in. I mean, even if you decide later on you want to go write like for for a TV show or something, or like make your own little animated series or something, bro, that would be amazing. Like that's one of my dreams is to make like an animated TV show whenever I'm maybe I'm older. And that's something, if I ever have that opportunity, I would kill to have you come help and write like that. You have talents that supersede streaming, or that exceed streaming, and that go above that. So I mean, even if you decide to never stream again, I hope you at least find another outlet that really accentuates all the talents that you have, because you're one of a kind.
Compliments. So thank you. I don't know how to accept compliments.
No, you're good, man. You don't have to say anything. I felt like I needed to tell. I want to tell you that because that's how I feel. Like I'm always telling you I'm not bullshitting. Like I genuinely like you're one of the great ones. Seriously.
Appreciate that. I really think I will be back streaming. I think it's just kind of finding the middle balance with the current house situation, because that's definitely the biggest thing. Because like his kids get wild, which is fine. Like they're kids, it's what they do. But like I can only block out so much noise with my Go XLR, and then like the dogs barking, like I can't block that out at all for some reason. So it's like trying to find the middle balance of when I can stream and when I can't stream. So like it's super hard to have a schedule now. But at the same time, it's also really hard to stream because I don't really have a game. Because like if I'm like in my breakup with Siege, like I have no game to stream because I only play Siege. Like I streamed Fortnite the other day, which is fine, but like I don't like Fortnite really. I don't like Apex. I don't like Warzone. I don't like Valorant. It's
tough.
It's Siege or bust. And like I don't know, Siege is very weird, man. Like I like streaming Siege, but I hate streaming Siege. Like if I stream Siege, I will literally get 10 follows a stream from Siege people, and then like I will never see them again. It's just so weird.
Yeah.
My community has grown from Siege, and none of them like Siege.
Yeah.
This is the weirdest thing. If I stream a different game, I will pop off. But if I stream Siege, it's just there. Like it's weird. It's because I get raided because I have cool raid scene and I do all this cool stuff. So those guys like to stop by and hang out because I do the cool stuff, but like they hate Siege. So it's super awkward that like I'm a Siege streamer and my community hates Siege.
Well, yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense because like people go through phases in games, but like you're also like so you know we talk about diversifying content a lot. Like I'm sure there are things you could do. Like, why do you think I built a goddamn gingerbread house? Like, it's because I don't have a fucking game I like to play right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are things that you can do. I would literally pay money to see you build a gingerbread house on stream. Like there are things. There are so many things. And you're such a creative dude that like you don't need a game. Like I said, we're not just game streamers anymore. We're broadcasters. Like we're entertainers. Like I guarantee, like if you just like take the game out of the picture and think of things you can do in like just chatting or like things like there are so many things you can do. Like you're a great conversationalist. You could just shoot the shit with chat. Like there are so many things that you could do that I think could even reinvigorate your love for streaming again.
See, so like I agree that like just chatting, I could dominate just chatting, but like the issue is I get bored myself.
Yeah.
Like, because I have been a just chatting streamer and GeoGuessr and Marbles, but like I can only do that for like 30 minutes, man, and then I'm fucking bored. Like
Yeah.
that's why I play Siege because it's high paced, but I can still read chat. So like I can do that and still play a competitive game and still be competitive. Like just chatting, like this is fine because I'm talking to people. But like if it's just me reading through chat and like I'm gonna get bored, especially if chat gets a little slow and it's like me just trying to talk to myself. Like I won't be a successful just chatting streamer. Like I keep bumping into like maybe I should do a podcast, but like I
You
don't have
should.
the energy.
You should. I mean, you should. You don't have to do like you can have guests on or whatever. Like I think you'd be great at it. Also, listen, man, come over to Austin, bro. We'll stream Scrabble. We'll play some fucking Scrabble, bro. Monopoly. Listen, I'm a hard sleeper. You can stream whatever the fuck you want, bro. Listen, I'm just saying, stream some Scrabble, fucking Monopoly.
That's another issue I have. Like, because you were saying build a gingerbread house, I literally can't. My bed is touching my desk. That's how small my space is. So like I can't. Like, here's my wall. Like it's that close. Like it's all one. So like I'm very limited with what I can and cannot do right now until I do get a new house. But I am down to come down. I do have 2 weeks off work soon, so
Let's go, dude. You can come visit anytime you want. Seriously. Sorry, go ahead, CB.
One game I think you might, I don't know if you looked into it at all, that's similar. Rogue Company maybe might be a game.
I carried Ethan on it. Not gonna flex, but definitely carried Ethan on it. Shout out Ethan.
That's one game
it's all right. That community was really bad. I'm not gonna lie. That's the most toxic community that I found.
They all are,
Like
dude.
out of viewers. Like so, here's the thing. Siege is like the most toxic game, right? If you play a game, it's gonna run like super toxic. But like the Siege community on Twitch, super wholesome. It's so freaking weird and it makes no sense. Like I don't get trolls from the Siege community. Man, first 3 people that came in from Rogue Company, all trolls. It's the weirdest thing. It's so weird. And it's just me talking shit to random people in Rogue Company. So that's probably another reason why. I talk a lot of shit on games. So
No, but
I think that's why I like Siege because there's that chat. I can talk to the team and call them all dog shit.
I mean with like with like all these other games, I think it's just like any game is gonna have a toxic community. I grew up playing Overwatch the last 4 years, and that's got to be one of the like that's the XQC group, and like the Omega Lol this, Omega Lol that. Like it's honestly terrible. That's why I don't stream it or even attempt to stream it really. And then you got games like Rocket League where Mega literally played Rocket League one time, and that was the first time she ever had a racist slur said in her chat. It's not a coincidence, man. But
I definitely think that that's another reason why I lost my love for streaming is just because there's just nothing to stream for me. Like that, there's just nothing. Like I have fun when I play Apex with like Nash, but like, bro, I hate Apex. Man, I got a 0.15 KD, bro. Like, I hate it. Because like I hate being very bad at games. Like I understand I'm bad at games, but like a 1.5 KD is like not fun for me, man. I'm dropping and I'm dead. Like I don't understand the game. So like I think that's my biggest that's one of the other biggest issues. Besides like I think one of the main reasons I fell out of love is just because there's just no games for me, man. I truly just don't enjoy video games, and like I don't enjoy just chatting because I'll just get bored.
Well, that's the great thing about gaming is that eventually you can find something you want to play. And I know maybe your attention span won't allow it for you, but like I would love to see you play like random fucking Steam bullshit free to play games or like a $2.99 fucking story mode bullshit like fucking Farming Simulator, whatever. I feel like the dumber the
I've seen
game,
that before.
I feel like the dumber the game, the funnier it is because you're just gonna start shitting on it. And so, like, you got to remember, like, obviously, if you don't enjoy it, you don't enjoy it. But like, don't encapsulate yourself in this like oh, I have to stream like some sort of competitive shooter thing, or like, because I feel like you could literally go on the Steam app and go like just type in funny and then just start scrolling, and there's thousands of games for you to play, even if you only play them once.
Shout out Walking Simulator. It's the last game I downloaded.
To hit.
Yeah, you just walk. You walk and try not to die. And then after like 3 trips of walking, you can unlock a jet ski. Not a jet ski, like a snowmobile. I'm like, how's the fucking walking simulator if I'm on a snowmobile now? It's a free game though. Check it out. Not sponsored.
No, but sponsors, please. We're desperate. We have nothing right now. But dude, Stevie, anything else to add? I mean, I've pretty much said everything I want to say. Go ahead.
I think we covered a lot of it. I just wanted to say thank you for coming on. I know that you were apprehensive about talking about a lot of these different things, but I want you to know that if you started a podcast tomorrow, I would be there and listen 100%. And
Same.
I think, I know it's hard to give yourself credit and it's hard to take compliments, but you're one of the most wholesome people that I know, and I consider you one of my like very, very good friends of this community. And I just want you to know that I very much appreciate you and you coming on and talking with us.
Did you guys?
I think you're a dumb bitch, but you're funny.
Thank you. I want to say something real quick. I've never told anybody that I stream for money, so that's an insight. You guys are welcome.
You heard it here, folks. Everybody unfollow John Baker. Come over to twitch.tv/MillNash. Fuck this guy. F him. You don't need him.
Yeah, for bad content.
God damn it. Go ahead, Stevie. Let's fucking get the hell out of here.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening to this week's podcast. I think next week we might be taking a week off because of Christmas and stuff, and we'll figure it out because I know a lot of guest availability is kind of sketchy this next week. So maybe we'll do something where it's just me and you having a podcast and just shooting it a little bit. But
I'm down.
Yeah. Thanks, John, for coming on this week. We really appreciate you coming on and talking about all these things. I didn't think we'd get that deep, but it's kind of nice. I really love getting to know people a lot better. Now I feel like I understand John at a level that I didn't know previously, which is awesome. I appreciate that. But John, where are you at on social media, buddy? Let us know.
TheeJonBaker on Twitch and Twitter. And then MillNash on Twitch as well.
That's it. I don't even need to give myself a promo. It's MillNash, twitch.tv/MillNash, twitter.com/MillNash.
And yeah, you could find me at Twitter with the memes at FranchiseGFX, and then also on Twitch some point this week I'll hit go live. I'll get the courage at /FranchiseGFX. Follow the Pryde Twitter at GGPryde. Hopefully we dox the GG at some point here. It's not looking good though. And then also follow the Prydecast at Prydecast. Thank you guys for listening. We will see you soon. And if we don't see you before next week, have a happy new year. Have a happy Christmas. You guys enjoy your holidays. We'll catch you later.
See ya!